Guess who's back? Bubba G. Bubba G is teaching Bible basics for all those who want to know, but especially those 10 and under, because you need to learn. In the last video, we saw Daniel in the lion's den. Yes, he got saved. God, the angels shut the lion's mouth when they threw him in and didn't eat him up. Remember? Yes. Yes. In this video, we're going to look at another person. We're going to look at Esther. Who was Esther? Well, she became a queen in the province. Yes, she did. She was one of the children of Israel, but she became a queen to the king. How did this happen? We're going to look. Okay, where are you at? I'm in Esther, chapter 1, verse 1. Queen Vashti defies King Xerxes from his royal throne in Persia's capital city of Susan. King Xerxes ruled 127 provinces, all the way from India to Ethiopia. So we see a new king is the king, and he's ruling from India to Ethiopia. This guy has a lot going on. So, let me break it down a little bit. So this king decides to have this banquet. All these officials came to the banquet. You know, the king has a queen. Her name is Vashti. So what happened was the king called for his queen. He wanted to show her off because she's so beautiful. But she didn't want to go. She refused to go. And the king got mad. So the king said, I don't want to deal with her no more. I'm going to get me a new queen. So let's see what happened. Chapter 2. Later, even after the king's anger had cooled down, he kept thinking about what Vashti had done and about his proclamation against her. So some of the king's advisors who were close to him suggested, why don't you make a search to find some beautiful young virgins? You can appoint officials in every province of the empire and have them bring all these beautiful young women to your harem here in Susan. Remember, he had 127 provinces. A lot of people over there. He said, go get the young, beautiful ones. Bring them to me. That's what they suggested. Put them in the care of Haggai, the eunuch, who is in charge of your women, and let them be given a beauty treatment. Then take the young women you like the best and make her queen in Vashti's place. Take the young woman you like the best. That's what they're saying. The king thought this was a good advice, so he followed it. Verse 5, there in Susan lived a Jew named Mordecai, son of Jair. He was from the tribe of Benjamin, who was a descendant of Kish and Shimei. When King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon took King Jehoiakim of Judah into exile from Jerusalem, along with a group of captives, Mordecai was among them. So Mordecai came with Jehoiakim came to Babylon. Yes. He was among them. He had a cousin, Esther, whose Hebrew name was Hadassah. She was a beautiful young woman, and had a good figure. At the death of her parents, Mordecai had adopted her and brought her up as his own daughter. Wow. When the king had issued his new decree, his proclamation, and many young women were being brought to Susan, Esther was among them. So she too was put in the royal palace in the care of Haggai. Hegai. Haggai liked Esther, and she won his favor. He lost some time in the beginning with her beauty treatment. No, he lost no time in beginning her beauty treatment of massage and special diet. He gave her the best place in the harem and assigned 7 young women specially chosen from the royal palace to serve her. Now, on the advice of Mordecai, Esther had kept a secret that she was Jewish. So he was like, don't tell him you from the tribe of Israel. Every day, Mordecai would walk back and forth in front of the courtyard of the harem in order to find out how she was getting along and what was going to happen to her. Verse 12, the regular beauty treatment for the women lasted a year. Massages with oil and myrrh for 6 months, and with oil of balsam for 6 more. After that, each woman would be taken in turn to King Xerxes. When she went from the harem to the palace, she could wear whatever she wanted. She would go there in the evening, and in the morning, she would be taken to another harem and put in the care of Shashgars, the eunuch in charge of the king's concubines. She would not go to the king again unless he liked her enough to ask for her by name. The time came for Esther to go to the king. This is verse 15. Esther, the daughter of Abigail and the cousin of Mordecai, who had adopted her as his daughter, Esther, admired by everyone who saw her. Esther was admired by everyone who saw her. When her turn came, she wore just what Haggai, the eunuch in charge of the harem, advised her to wear. So in Xerxes' 7th year as king, in the 10th month, the month of Tebeth, Esther was brought to King Xerxes in the royal palace. The king liked her more than any of the other women. And more than any of the others, she won his favor and affection. He placed a royal crown on her head and made her queen in place of Vashti. Then the king gave a great banquet in Esther's honor and invited all his officials and administrators. He proclaimed a holiday for the whole empire and distributed gifts worthy of a king. Wow, so what do we see here? We see King Xerxes had a queen named Vashti. But she was rebellious. She refused to come when he called her. So they told him, man, you got all these beautiful women out here. Go get you another one. He said, yeah, that's a good idea. So Esther was beautiful, had a nice figure. So Mordecai was like, yeah, you go too. You be one of the chosen. So what happened? She got her beauty treatments, brought her to the king. He said, yeah, that's the one for me. So he put a crown on her head and made her the queen. So she came from Jerusalem like the other exiles. But because she was so beautiful, they made her the queen. After that, the Jewish people, the children of Israel, got this enemy, this guy named Haman. He wanted to destroy them because he was like, these people they don't follow what we do. They do their own thing. They got this God they worship. They always worshiping this God. We need to kill all these people. That's what Haman said. He told the king, put them all to death. Please do that for me. So it'll be in your best interest. So what happened? The plot was in works. But Mordecai was like, told Esther, look, you ain't good with the king. You can help us. So what happens? Because she became the queen, she was able to save her people. The king gave her favor and honored her requests. And what happened to Haman? They put him to death.